And this is the really fun one. This is interest rates since forever. So who watches Game of Thrones? Right, that means you're cool people. So I'll tell you, this is how to think about this chart. Imagine it's the start of the Game of Thrones period. The Lannisters are in charge. And the Lannisters are going to issue a 30-year Lannister bond. Would you like to buy the 30-year Lannister bond knowing that you're going to have to deal with Cersei Lannister? If you did, you would want a really high rate of interest, right? Ta-da! Now, what happens is Cersei eventually loses the Seven Kingdoms, and then there's Jon Snow bonds, because that's what happens, right? And other things like that. And eventually the pool of capital gets bigger, and what happens to the cost of money, the interest rate? That's the red line, going all the way down. So look at 2017. Interest rates globally are basically zero. So we had this huge crash that was bailed out by the central banks, and yet paradoxically, there's no inflation anywhere. Weird. And interest rates are structurally low, and this has been going on since the 1300s. Believe it or not, that explains all these clowns. Because think about populations that haven't had a wage increase in real terms, in many cases since the 1970s. They took on a ton of debt, and their debts are too high, but their wages are too low and they're not growing. So that means you can't pay off the debt. Now, if you're a baby boomer, are there any baby boomers here? God bless you, because you lot got lucky, particularly if you're in the United States. You got a 4% mortgage and inflation went to 12%. So the bank paid for your house. But with really structurally low inflation, that's never going to happen. The real value of debts are maintained. And we tightened up bankruptcy laws and all this sort of stuff, so there's nothing to eat the debt. And you've got low interest rates, which means you can permanently revolve them, but you can never resolve them. So those financial stresses on a micro level are the consequences of the decisions that we made 10 years ago when we bailed out the system. And if you're on the left, if you're on the Bernie side, you blame capital and you blame globalization. And if you're on the Trump side, or variations thereof, you blame immigrants and globalization, and that's pretty much it.